felt so powerless that you wanted to give up on your dreams? I had. There are moments in life where you feel like giving up. You've worked so hard, and yet results are nowhere to be seen. But what if that moment was the beginning of everything? What if that moment was the turning point, the breakthrough that transformed everything? Today, I'm here to talk to you about how a dark moment in my life, the one where I felt everything was over, was actually the beginning of everything, the turning point that changed me and that transformed everything. What I learned is that through darkest time, we learn the strength which is within us. And transformation is not only possible, but essential. For as far as I can remember, I've always been passionate about design. Not only about creating beautiful things, but also meaningful ones. But I guess, like many of you here in the audience, I follow the traditional route. I worked for 13 years in banking. You know, the boring things, crunching numbers, working on Excel sheets, living the high life, corporate life. I guess many would feel the same way. You know, when you have a life, a job, a career, you feel comfortable in, it's your comfort zone. You're even successful in it, but your heart isn't fully in it, right? I completely get it. I've been through this. For me, this feeling started to grow stronger and stronger. And one day, in 2014, I was in New York City. I was wandering down the Barry Avenue, and I saw a lighting fixture shop. And I got what I call this lightning moment. I felt that this was it. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring design home. So here I am, going back to Dubai and shipping my first container. Now, hear how it gets completely crazy. So for a few years, I was juggling between two different worlds. I had my day job, the high life, the corporate life, crunching numbers, data Excel sheets, traveling across the GCC, meeting clients, working around the clock. In the evening, I used to go back home and I used to work on my side project, my passion. And, I used to work on containers, shipments, packing, unpacking, labeling. I remember I used to drive back to do pop-ups. It was trendy back in the times in Dubai, across the country, and then come back in the early morning of the day, just sleep a couple of hours and then take a flight to one of the GCC countries. And it was exhausting. It was really exhausting and hectic. For a few years, I did it, but I always questioned myself. I always was asking, was it the right choice? Was it okay to just juggle two different lives? But who would give up so easily on his dream? And one day, in 2018, I decided I was done. I couldn't anymore work for 18 hours a day between two different worlds. And I took a decision. I took a leap of faith. I decided that it was over with me with my corporate job, and I wanted to dedicate myself completely to my passion. It was scary, it was frightening, and standing here today, I can tell you, it's the best decision I ever made in my life. Of course, it wasn't easy, and I guess many of you would feel this way. You can be in two different worlds, juggling two different lives, completely different. Your passion, your job, which is a safety net, which is a comfort zone, and the passion that keeps you awake all night working on it, right? I get it. I've been through this. And I can tell you, it's totally worth it to take this leap of faith. Now, 1 year later, in 2019, the initial excitement started to fade away. And I started to feel a bit of increasing challenges, the mounting pressure that makes me, taking a toll on my health, on my well-being. The initial excitement faded away, and I don't know what I wanted to do. My company's numbers were not growing as fast as expected. I was working like crazy, like 16 hours a day still. And late 2019, the financial crisis hit Lebanon and my home country. And I lost everything. In a matter of a blink of an eye, I lost all my company savings that I worked for 5 years. At that time, I remember I couldn't sleep for days. I couldn't breathe. I lost everything in a blink of an eye. And I guess many of you would feel the same, maybe not the same situation, but this feeling of losing everything overnight, right? When you go through a dark time, the easiest thing that you could do is just to give up, right? It's the easy things. I even felt the same way. So what I did, actually, I even went to apply for my previous job. I went to try to go back to the finance world, to my safety net, to my comfort zone. I didn't feel comfortable anymore just driving a business where I lost everything overnight. But I even went to see venture capitalists and business angels. And they all told me, my business was not scalable, it was not attractive, go back to your, day job. And then I had this lightning moment again. I was like, who am I to let others dictate the end of my dreams? Who are they to write the end of my story? I worked so hard for 5 years to make it happen. So I decided that I had to work on something that would drive my business back. Not only to save it, not to survival mode, but something sustainable. I had to work on a concrete action plan. And I was thinking, I had an e-commerce business, so why not opening a store where I could have, this physical consumer experience, in the store, and then we'll drive the business back. And at that time, in 2019, it was almost 2.5 years later after Saudi Vision 2030 was announced. This huge vision was giga projects, massive. It was all about deliverables with a tangible plan, with concrete actions. And I thought about it on my way. I was like, I need to find a way where I could have a tangible plan and to build again my business and to revive it. So here I am, embarking on a 6-month journey. This is what I call my last push. For 6 months, I given it all. I decided to work on concrete, tangible actions in order not only to revive my business, but also to make it sustainable, because you want to have a legacy for the future, right? And Saudi Vision was all about it, concrete actions. And this is exactly, after 6 months, what I needed. It was the breakthrough that transformed everything. It was the breakthrough that took me to the other side, a powerful transformation. And here I am, 5 years later, standing in front of you, managing a multi-million-dollar business, running the business with double-digit growth. And I just opened my store in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, a couple of months ago. So what I learned is sustainability is not only in the products. Sustainability should apply to your business and your life. And what I know also is that I learned that a product is not just here to stay today. A product is here to be for the generation to come, not only in terms of style, but also for the environment. You need to have a product that has a legacy for the future. And this is actually why I turned for Danish design. I'm obsessed with Scandinavian design. I love it. Not only because I'm passionate about it, because I believe in the sustainability ethos behind it. I wanted to have a business which is sustainable, which is here to stay for the generation to come. And this is what all Scandinavian design is. And this is how it connects to Saudi Vision 2030. The vision is about building a sustainable future for the generation to come. Saudi Vision 2030, it's about giving everyone an opportunity to succeed, no matter where they're coming from, Saudi or non-Saudi. It's about giving them this opportunity, and it builds on values of transformation, inclusivity, and sustainability. Values that really speaks to me. And Saudi Vision 2030, it's about huge transformation. I remember 15 years ago, and when I first came to the GCC, I, maybe as a woman, was not always welcome at the negotiation table. I used sometimes even to be mistaken for the assistant. They used to ask me, to stand with some documents during a meeting. And it's only when my client realized that I was the one he invited for a talk that everything changed, actually. I realized how powerful a transformation can be. A transformation is so powerful it gives us the power to break barriers, to stand on our own, and also to stand for the value we truly believe in, and to give ourselves a chance to succeed. The Saudi Vision 2030, it's about this huge transformation, which is obviously sustainability is a big part of it. And I wanted to have my business this way. I wanted to run a business sustainable with massive dreams, but with concrete action plan and concrete deliverables. And this is the way to go forward, to have transformation and sustainability. And this is the way I'm going to be able to build a sustainable future for my business and for my life. In closing, I want to remind you, we all have our own secret recipe of success. Mine was belief, resilience. This magic one that keeps me going, that keeps me pushing, going to the other side, giving it all, even in my darkest time. So write down your own secret recipe of transformation. Whenever things get tough, remember who you are. Remember why you started, and remember, most importantly, the future you are building. Whenever you're facing a wall, you have two choices. One of them, stop. The second choice that you have is just take down this wall and use every brick of it to build a bridge to the other side. The other side being your new transform. The wall is not your limit. This wall is your opportunity to grow, succeed, and then, transform. Work on your comeback. Whenever you're going through a dark time, remember why you started. And also remember the power of transformation that's within you. It's up to you to get to the other side. It's up to you to build a sustainable future. Together, as women and individuals, we have the power to transform, and we have the power to build a sustainable future with resilience and full of possibilities. Thank you.